Friday, Saturday, Sunday at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if people talk about change, where your stretch is limited, or in science we call it elastic limit, is beyond the 3 days.
Sure.
So that is what we have to look at for.
Yeah. So that brings us down to how viewers, those following us, those at home, how do we manage this change? How do we do it? Let's typical example of going to work, like you said, and all of a sudden you find yourself at home. What happens? Can anything come out of change? How should we manage this situation
Number
as
one,
individuals?
thank you very much. Accept the change. Number two, get information from the right source. Okay. When you are asked to stay home and you do not seem to find the correct information, how effective is government dealing, the world dealing with it? It will not bring you despair if you have the correct information.
Sure.
Okay, if you do not have the correct information, then emotionally you will not be able to process that I need to stay home for my survival. Okay, number three, communicate. It's key. One of the key things in this era, in this time, is to communicate a lot. Most of us go out of our ways, work. If you look at Ghana, about 20, 30 years ago, it was more of the extended family.
Yeah.
Okay, but technology, lifestyle changes, and family style changes have actually brought us closer and closer to nuclear. This is the time to reach out. Call and be called. Okay, that is what I always say it. You call and be called. CNB, right? Or you can say it CAC. Call and be called. Call out to friends. Call out to family and check up on them. It gives you a perspective on life. Okay? So if you want to drill down on how we can manage, our family system in Ghana now is diverse. You can have somebody who stays in one bedroom house with a wife and a kid, with a wife and 2 kids. Somebody stays in a 4-bedroom house, wife, 2 kids. Other family members may be part of it. How we manage this change is critical. In all, emotionally, we need to understand the fact that it is key for us to survive. Now, the next step to do after communication is physically ensure that your environment is suitable or conducive for you to be able to manage or adapt to the change without stressing yourself. That could lead to, this social condition of the mind that will say, look, I'm too much stressed. What is it? Why don't I leave? You understand? So it's critical we manage all these things. And in making sure that your environment is adjusted, it is one of the reasons why in one end I may side with the government of the day for giving a period of time for people to adjust. You understand? Because that if that been like a coup, okay, one time we'll declare this area non-go area. That would have been a bigger problem. And you can see what is even happening in our social our system. People seem to not have accepted the change enough, the directive. So we watch on social media people going out.
Yeah.
And it's like
deliberately to go and see what's happening
they have not
there.
accepted that there's a threat to life.
Sure.
If you've not been able to do that, it means that emotionally you've not accepted it. All his life in Accra has been hustle and bustle. At dawn he goes, he comes at night. All of a sudden there's a directive, stay home. Radio stations are saying it, social media are saying it. Somebody wants to go and say that I want to see whether what I heard is true. So that is how we need to manage it. Accept the fact that it's a threat to life. Okay. Ensure that your conditions, your environment is conducive enough. Okay. If you live in a 1-bedroom house, how do you manage it? If you live in a 2-bedroom house, how do you manage it? Okay. We will drill down on what to do so that the routines going forward from tomorrow, where we have tested that look on the weekend. If you have a weekend of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that is 3 days. If it is Monday and Monday you are still staying home, how do you manage it? And it's critical.
Yeah, it's a very good point. The fact that you need to accept, because first of all, if you don't accept it, then you can't do anything about it. But when you come to the terms of accepting the fact that you should stay home and you are home, but the fact that you don't accept it, it means that you want to rebel against it. But you need to accept it. It's a very good point. And also communicate. I had something like that. So communicate. Call your friends, call your family, check up on them, because it's been a very long time. You've been moving up and down. You don't have time calling and checking up on people. So call and be called.
Yeah.
I like the points that you made. Okay, so this brings us so down to, can anything good come out of change? Like, can anything, how do we adapt to this thing that something good comes out of change? That's the era we find ourselves in.
The thing is that every change has a specific outcome that is being sought out for. All right. So, for instance, why do we want to stay home? And I would want to re-echo what the Minister of Education said, that the virus does not move until we move. So more or less, we spread it. Okay. What is this change that we are experiencing, or we are more or less being, I wouldn't want to use the force, we are faced with? What is it seeking to do? It is seeking to prevent the extension of the problem that comes when you get a virus. You understand? So what happens is that when we are able to manage this change, the outcome or result we're looking for is that we would be able to first and foremost contain the virus. Why? After 14 days, we would have seen the real picture in these areas of Accra, Tema, Kumasi, and Obuasi. Because these are the areas, they are like hubs. Okay? These are the areas that we believe that we would get this virus. 14 days of incubation, if it shows. So assuming that in your family, all right, there's somebody with a virus, and obviously when you are quarantined or when you are locked down, interactions will happen. So if this house has the virus, automatically we would have the symptoms showing. Then we will zero in down on that house or that community. Okay, because the fear of the unknown is the reason why other countries, we have more people dying. Okay, because you do not know. So when we stop moving, we stay home. Okay, now what will happen now is that we are going to find out where the problem is. We zero in there, then the solutions will go, because you do not want to be inundated with problems that you cannot handle.
All right, so basically what you're trying to say is that the change can be of a good use. That is stopping
this particular change is for survival.
Yes, for
okay.
us to survive.
Other changes, we can generalize change. Okay, others can be for company to survive. For instance, all right, if productivity is not coming, all right, there's a need to change a company's culture, work culture. What you want to do is that you want to make the company more profitable. Okay, and in industries, you have Six Sigma, you have Kaizen. They are all productivity models that will look, why are you not becoming productive? So change, most of the changes that we do, okay, comes with unexpected outcome.
All right, so
and I would want to even make myself an example. All right, okay, I had to move from mainstream mining, all right, the daily harsh work of mining, all right, to move to the other side of the same industry. It's a big change. I used to be the one doing the work, okay? Now, kindly, I'm on the side of mining that is looking out for workers that do the work. You understand? So you look at their condition of service, you look at how they are actually looked after, and how the industries will also promote the mining work. These are the things you become. You move to the social aspect of it. Now, that change alone of work comes with a lot of other related changes. You're talking about family change. You're talking about even religious
Yeah,
life and all that.
I was going to boil it down to family and relationship. You know, recently, this guy that was going to take his life, there was a change. There was a broken heart. So in such situations, how should one, if in a relationship or family-wise, you've been left alone or you've had broken hearts, how would viewers or followers that are watching us in bed and you are locked down and everything seems to be like, Charlie, it's the end. The person you thought you were going to go with is no more there. There's been a drastic change. What would such a person also do?
That is key. Key to change is how emotionally you manage it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. How you mostly it's about the emotions. People accept change, they take change and run with it. Okay. People resist change. Why are they resisting? They are resisting because emotionally they've not accepted it. Emotionally, they believe they cannot handle it. Emotionally, they believe that people will ridicule them, okay, for the change that has happened in their lives.
Sure.
And that is what happens most of the time. People that contemplate, okay, with suicide ideation, that look, I am better off leaving this area. I'm better off leaving this country. I'm better off leaving this world. After all, probably maybe I don't make an impact that enough, or look, that is the reason why these are things are happening to me and all that. But it is critical that we accept the fact that change is the only permanent thing in our lives. Change, whether be it relations change or relationship change, be it work change, be it a social change, okay, change has a way of bringing us out as better people.
Sure.
All right. And I always say, for instance, that for you to be able to get diamond, you need to go to a lot of heat. For you to be able to get gold, you need to go to a lot of heat. And that heat process is one of the biggest changes you have in life. Change cannot be cold. Change always comes with heat. Heat is about the mental, the emotional, the physical, adaptive nature of human beings to be able to go through, because it's a process. For the next 11 days, most of us who have been busy workers, who even socially have been working, for instance, I'll tell you, okay, most of our artists, okay, in Ghana, if they have scheduled programs in Easter, they've lost all those monies.
Yeah.
You understand? If they schedule programs with even church programs, they've lost. All right? Even with our churches, our religion, a sharp focus is how do we see God during this time? You understand? How do you manage to see? Is it all about medicine that is running this world, or it is God? It is a huge challenge to our faith. It is a huge challenge to our existence. So managing change is a big thing. But the most important thing is we sit down and we accept it. So for instance, if your girlfriend or your boyfriend tells you that, look, it's over, okay, the most important thing you need to do is to accept that it is over.
Wow.
That's
Just
it.
like that.
When you accept that it is over, then the next question that automatically the mind will ask you, how do you manage that it is over? Okay? How do you manage it? And whenever you accept, the mind is like a genset or a generator, okay, that is linked with ECG. So the moment ECG goes off, the genset kicks in, all right? The moment ECG is off, the genset understands that that other source of power is out. Let me kick in. When it kicks in, what happens that there's an alternative. Okay, I used to go to A, B, C, D places with him. All right, I cannot go there because he or she is no more. How do you manage that? Probably let me change where I go, where I can go alone. And that's how the mind processes it. But the moment you do not accept it, you are still stuck with the fact that that person ought to be around before you can move on with your life. So if you do not accept it, automatically you want to also erase yourself, just as that relationship has been erased.
So you could see that the main focus is acceptance.
Accept the change.
No matter how you are being dogged or you are dogged, you need to accept the fact that there's a change. And therefore, by accepting it, let the mind also accept the fact that it's a change. And change your ways. It looks like it's a very, very important and interesting topic. I see viewers coming up with their questions. Keep your questions coming. We'll be ending soon with the interactive one with the guest. Keep the questions coming. Mr. Ando, you do all. Oh, wow. Yeah, lots of questions, and then we'll go back to it. So, I would say that you've said a lot about change and the fact that there's something good that can come out of change.
Most changes have an end result of a positive change. Okay. Most changes that come in our lives, there are two things, all right? Either we plan them with our ambitions in life, or God positions us in certain places to have a quick change, all right? Now, the change we are facing, and I would want us to come back to COVID-19. The change we are facing is an unprecedented change, unplanned for. So this is a reactive change. Most reactive changes are survival changes. You understand? And when it comes to that, what we have to do is quickly remind ourselves why we would have to stay home. Okay? Because you owe it a duty to your son. You owe it a duty to your daughter. You owe it a duty to your mother, your father, your siblings, all right? That you would stay home to stay alive and survive. Apart from that, you yourself need to ask yourself, if I stay home, what do I lose? If I go out, what would I possibly gain? Okay? Do the minus and the pluses of the stay home and then they go out. Because the most significant gain you will do is that you are likely to get the virus. If you stay home, the most significant gain is that you would expose the virus to die naturally. So as we go on, if we have time, we'll drill down on what to do at home quickly, so that
let's go down to that side.
Good. The most important thing is not to you need to plan so that you can accommodate for that 10-12 hours that most of the time you are out doing business, going to your formal work, okay, engaging people and all that. You need to do that. How do you plan for it? All right. Most of the time, because of our hustle and bustle, most of us do not even do morning workout and rest. Okay? We don't do that. I think it is time we need to look at that. Okay? Because the truth is, when you store food, okay, in your kitchen, in your storeroom, and you are eating the food, you are actually generating energy.
Yeah.
When that energy is not put into use or good use, what happens is that the system will store the energy. So you will come out fatter. Okay? So do something that will expend energy. It doesn't matter the space you have with yourself. Okay? If we watch social media, most of the time, the space that workouts are done are just less than even half a room. Okay? Just small space. You have 3 people there in a space. They get a sound and they are doing it. Okay? You need to expend energy. When you expend energy, you become fresher. All right? Now do the things that you also do. Do not change drastically. Don't change drastically. Do most of the things that you normally would do. What are the things that normally you would do? Okay, if you're at work, you talk to people. Talk to them. This change comes with a certain level of investment. Okay, talk to the people you talk to. All right. When you look at your diet as well, because when we actually do a lot of you go to work, you spend energy naturally.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting home, you cannot.
Cannot.
Okay. Do things that are fun. Okay. Things that under normal circumstances. So, for instance, if you are the one that hangs out to drink your favorite, your friend, what you call it, water or Coke or Fanta or whatever, take time and do this similar thing at home. Create that environment. That's a physical aspect. Physically create an environment.
Yeah.
If you have kids at home, please help them do their virtual homeworks. Read stories to them. All right. The bonding also comes part. Let us come out as better people from this change that we are managing, from this lockdown. And at the end of the day, look, the good Lord will bless all of us. And spiritually, let us hook on, because it's also very, very critical. Faith is very important.
Sure. You said it all. I think 30 minutes has been. We have questions for you. How would people who are dealing with addiction, how would people who are dealing with addiction benefit or suffer due to this lockdown?
Addiction is it's a broad word. Okay, what are you addicted to? If you're addicted to work, okay, work from home. Create your own schedule to work. Create ideas. Okay. Given the next 11 days that you have, all right, what do you see your work? How different do you want? Okay, I have decided to probably learn a different skill. Okay, online, all right, a different computer skill online. Find yourself unable to create. If you are addicted to any medicine, all right, that's a reason why, I think the president in the wisdom, okay, created an avenue that people can actually, medicinal, food, okay, critical movement have not been restricted yet. Okay, so it's not a total lockdown, all right. If it is a certain medicine and that you need to be prescribed, go to hospital. Get a proper, I wouldn't need excuse, let's say that way, to get to the hospital to get those medicines and all that. Okay, personal social addictions like going to club and the rest. Please, you can play the sound at home and dance. Okay, I saw one of the status that said that, look, do not act so maturely during this period when we are fooling also fool some.
Yeah.
There's so many ways. This opportunity presents a platform, okay, that we can look at how we can also make ourselves happy as ourselves. Okay, we do not want to put our happiness all in the hands of pub runners, club owners, and the rest. If you are confronted with staying home and making yourself happy, okay, we can channel the energy. I used to like something different. All right. I liked movies. Okay. I didn't really like what you call it, series a lot. Okay. But I think that, look, in the absence of so many movies around, because all the attention has now shifted to series, I'm not stuck to series. You understand? So you do all those things. If it changes, you change. But the most important thing is survive. Do not let staying home become a problem, so that at the end of this period, you may have even created a medical condition for yourself. You would have depression, you have maybe high BP and all that. No. Let us ensure that our lifestyle does not totally change to become a challenge for us to surmount. Try as much as possible to create an environment that you can manage. And I think that is one of the key things.
Okay, so the second question is, I'm a work addict and being at home is depressing me. What should I do?
Please, what's the name? What's the name? Or it's just a. Well, what you have to do if you are a work addict and being out of work is depressing you. What you have to do first and foremost is find the best way, okay, to make an input on your work, okay. And I believe that you are not a kayayi, okay, that you have to go and carry head load and that is your addiction. No, I believe your work most of the time is dealing with stuff at the office and all that. This is what I want you to do, okay. Create yourself a folder in your laptop, okay, or your computer if you have one. How you do your work, how you think ought to be done, okay, and the way forward. Deal with it and create a virtual office, okay. Create a virtual office, run it like that for the next 10 days, okay. If you are able to run it and think about it, the problem that can come around it, you can get out of these 10 days with a proposal to your boss. If you are the boss, you can come out in the next 10 days with a new way or new culture to run the job. So let's take the biggest opportunity we have, because in my life minus leave, okay, like when you go on leave, even the leave you stagger it, okay. In my work schedule, you stagger the leave. You are not allowed to take all the leaves. I have not had ever in my life since I started work that I've had an opportunity to stay home 14 days without going out. You understand? And this is an opportunity I believe we can make use of as Weinglo followers, as Weinglo sympathizers and the rest. Let's make the best out of this
Because
time.
Weinglo has actually changed. We used to move to the schools and then talk to them.
Yeah.
But since there's been a change that we need to stay home, we decided to come on live to chat with you.
And this is one of the most fundamental ways of managing the change. Otherwise, we would have gone to the schools and all that. And
we've been asked to stay home.
That's a point. So how do you manage staying home?
Making good use of staying home. And I think that you've said a lot. There are more questions coming. Share, tell your friends to join in and bring more questions and let's answer, because that's why we are here. Remember that we need to accept that there's been a change. So accept that there's been a change in your life. And whilst you are home, you can learn a trade online. You can learn to be the person you've always wanted to be. Some people have plans of writing storybooks and writing books as well, but have never gotten the chance to even take a pen and paper just because you'll be moving up and down and then there's no time. Take the book and start writing your book, because there's been a change and you're making more time for yourself. Exercise, develop yourself. Yes, and I never knew I could even start exercising until this change came in. You can't be sleeping all day, you need to exercise as well. So create, like you're saying, create something, be innovative, something that can actually, when the COVID-19 era is over, you can come out and go like, oh wow, COVID-19 was a very serious thing that we were all scared, but then there was something good that came out of it.
There's you see, even with our work-life balance, we could hardly would you have, let's say, 6 proper hours to sleep, unless of course you are alone. So you just walk in, you have your bath, and then you sleep. But most of us within this social, and I call it this era that we are in, okay, even when you get to when you have your bath, you would want to go online small. So before you realize you are sleeping around 8-9, okay, 8-9, what happens is that you wake up at 4 or 5 to be able to get to work early because of traffic. It's an opportunity, please. You know, when you get it, you sleep more. Let's even bring our BPs down, okay, because one of the key factors that inhibits or promotes higher BPs is lack of sleep. Let's create the opportunity to sleep more. All right. So in 14 days or in the next 11 days, I believe that there are more opportunities to sleep more. There's nothing like I want to go out to go and see whether people are not coming online. Okay. There's nothing like I want to go and I want to go and see if people are not coming.
Yeah. Because I saw a video of one.
How would you do that?
Guy who actually went out to see what is happening out there.
And you see, they make it very difficult for people with genuine reasons, okay? Because it was like, look, I told the military men that I wanted to get medicine, but not necessarily that I wanted medicine, but I wanted to come and see whether indeed they are there.
There's another question. What happens after I have adopted to this change? Then I am asked to go back to my normal routine.
The one good thing with this particular change is that we know there's an end to this change. Okay. That's why the topic for today is apt. It is adaptation. All right. Okay. It is not like how to live with this particular change. We know for a fact that okay, the human race has come under a lot of attacks. Same viruses, we had high fever, we had so many of viruses that has attacked this human race. But consistently, all right, both medically, spiritually, and everything, we've been able to surmount these changes, all right? So we know for a fact that there is an end to this change.
Yeah.
What we are going through is to ensure that what we are looking for, so to come out, to go to our workplaces, make a change in life, make a change in our social life, is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that what we are doing has a certain target, there's a certain velocity of it, and then we have a certain outcome we are looking for. So do not get addicted within 2 weeks to think that you are going to sleep 10 hours a day. Okay, you understand, but you have an opportunity to make the best out of it.
So basically, when the song changes, it's just like you're dancing.
Yes.
When the tune changes, you change the dance skills.
Yes.
So no matter how it's going, definitely there's going to be a change. You're not going to be home forever.
Yeah.
So when you change your strategy, and that is how best you can.
It's best.
You can
We are looking at how we can, okay, manage the next 11 days. All right.
Yeah.
Awaiting the next government directive. Okay, how to manage it. And the quest here is that we stay home, we stay safe. Okay, we bring the virus down. Others have done it and it seems to be working. All right. And unless we want to say that our own is a different virus, it's going to work. Okay, so we are positive it's going to work after 14 days because we would have tested that period of incubation and would have come out to know that indeed whether we have some or we do not have some. Thank God so much. Okay, people have recovered.
Yeah.
So it's a point that like, we can get over it. So manage it so that you do not come out worse. You understand? Because if you're not able to manage it, these are some of the things that can happen. You will walk out and meet military men. Yeah. If you don't meet military men who are level-headed enough, okay, it could be confrontational.
Just like the video I saw today.
I saw a video where a lady was actually turned back. That and the military man was like, let me tell you, where you are going, there's no hospital there. You are just going to chill. You just want to go and enjoy yourself. So please go back. Because the area you told me you are going, there's no hospital there.
Can you imagine?
You understand? No. She met a very reasonable military person. So he decided that, look, let me be intellectual with you to beat your argument. Others would have just attacked you. Probably because he was a lady. If it had been a man.
Because there was this video I saw when the military man was returning the guy back to go home. There was a confrontation.
Oh yes. I mean, because these people, and that's what we're talking about, the base point is accept the change. These people have not accepted that to live or to stay home, it is key to survival. It's key to survival. Okay, it's not because look, you cannot look from Sunday to now. This is the first day I stepped outside of my main door, not the gate. So the main gate I've not even gotten there, right? The main door of the house. So it tells you that look, if you are committed to staying safe, you can do it. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you are staying, even if it is one bedroom. When you know that you are staying there because of the fact that you want to survive, you do not want to bring a disease that could affect your son, your daughter, your mother, your father. And the key thing is that everybody has the level that we can resist this virus. Some can get it, okay, and go through it with maybe but others will not be able to make it. We want to bring in everybody home safe, okay.
Yeah.
Look, if you lose money, you have lost money. But if you lose life, there's no way of getting the life back.
I think there's another question. We'll be wrapping up with the questions. This is a very educative program. Thank you, Weinglo Family International. The guest is doing well. Alright, so the question is that I have been thinking of committing suicide just because I feel very lonely and everything has changed around me. What should I do?
Loneliness, most of the time, comes in two parts. All right, you can be in the midst of people and be lonely. Okay, then you can be alone. Okay, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. All right, so if the loneliness is coming from being alone, there's a how to tackle it. All right, and being lonely, there's a different way to tackle it. So this is what I'm going to do. If you are alone, you are lonely because you are alone. What you need to do, okay, my sister or my brother, is to hook up. Okay, hook up is not about looking for any, unless call family friends. Okay, I think that after the program, we'll put a line, we'll put a number. Call us. Okay, Weinglo family is also willing to make your life at home alone a bit more, manageable. Okay, if it is about the fact that even though people around you are lonely, again, the second point is within your environment, talk to somebody. Okay, if you have been left that, okay, I'm the only person within this house, okay, the most important thing is to get back to basics. Call and be called.
Okay.
It's very important. Call and be called, and then you manage the situation.
Wow, well said. I believe we've learned a lot today. Accepting the change is very important. Called and be called is also something that you could use to adapt to change, do something you've not done before. I mean, we've learned a lot. We are wrapping up. In your few words, what would you want to tell the followers and then those who are watching us?
I think that I've been privileged to get this platform from Weinglo Family International. I'm a family member of Weinglo, okay, as a board chairman. So, what we want to do, I believe that these live chats are very, very entertaining, okay, exciting, and they are very, very, very insightful. Okay, we want to share ideas. We want to ensure that within the next 11 days, and God being so good, this live chat would lead into another, another episode that will, and it is purely coming under the auspices of COVID-19. So even after COVID-19, we would then go on to look at the other social aspects of our lives. And I'm happy to be part. What I want to tell our followers is that continue to stay tuned with us. We have a lot to give out. We have a lot to share. And please be mindful of the fact that change is the only constant thing in life. Embrace it and accept it. And may the good Lord help us through this period of COVID-19. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I guess you've done a very wonderful job. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hello viewers, we've come to the end of our show. I believe we learned a lot. I believe change, as our guests have said, is for you to accept that there's been a change. Do something you've not done before. Do something that you enjoy doing even though you are at home. Call your friends, call your family, called and be called. I like what our guest speaker said. And keep staying tuned because we have a lot of interesting topic upcoming. Tomorrow we'll be having a chat with a very in tune guest as well. We're going to be talking about what if anxiety sets in. That will be on Saturday. Do not miss out. But tomorrow there's a topic for you. There will be a family based topic where we're going to talk about how to stay in tune when you're home. What do you do? Hey, I've enjoyed being with you. I'm your host for today. Enjoy your evening. And always remember that you need to accept change. You need to be who you are. Love yourself. Do what you can do best. And make the best out of the day. Have a nice evening. And thanks for following us. Bye.